Hey, I just wanted to give you an overview of the craft that the older kids, the intermediates and seniors, will do at the meeting on Monday. They are going to learn how to do the back stitch, and they're going to make a little, this could be a coaster, very small coaster, or I've also seen it kind of being used as a little pouch to keep headphones or other little things in. So each club member in that age group will choose one patterned fabric that will be the bottom of their coaster, and then they'll receive 5 different solid colors that are kind of folded in half. This is 6. They won't all be exactly the same. So whatever 5 colors they have, one is not going to be visible, so they're going to choose one color that will be like the inside of the pouch, right? So nobody's going to see that. So they're just going to take the colorful piece that they chose, and they're going to put the plain color that they don't want to see underneath it. And then they're going to put these with the folded side facing in around the edges, overlapping, kind of like when you're folding a cardboard box back shut. So first one, second one, oops, folded side in the middle, third one, and then when they do the fourth one, just pull this down, lay that on top, and then fold that back up. So it'll look like 4 squares. They'll line it up as even with the edge as they can, and then they'll each have some of these clips, and you're gonna help make sure that they kind of have it all lined up with the edge, and they can clip it together. And once they have it all lined up and clipped, they can start doing their stitching. And why I think this is a great little project for them to learn and practice how to do a back stitch is because it's really simple. The final product is actually flipped inside out. So when they're working on it, all they have to actually sew is 4 straight lines. They're just going to go around the edge. See, here's the, right, this, and they're just going to go womp, 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 stitch around the edge. When they're done stitching, they'll take a pair of scissors and they can trim the edges closer. Don't cut the stitches, but they can trim the edges a little closer to the stitches, kind of cut the corners off, and then I'll just turn it inside out, and it looks like a little quilted coaster. So that's what they're going to work on in the meeting. Again, everybody might not have time to finish, you know, with the sewing, but they should be able to get a really solid start on it. They'll be able to take stuff home to finish at home if they need to. And then the Google Doc has links to 2 other tutorials if they want to practice more or make more projects at home. This is the exact same concept as the one that we're going to do in the meeting, except that instead of folding the squares, because these are all the exact same size square, so instead of folding them into half, they would fold them in diagonals and go 1, 2, 3, 4 and arrange them pretty much the same way. And it's that same thing. It's a little trickier to arrange, you know, because you want to make sure if they do this one, like if they want to do this one at home, when they're lining the fabric up, it'll go kind of like this, and they'll go around. You just want to make sure before they start stitching that all the corners are like lined up in the corners so that they all catch. But it's the same thing. They line their pieces up and clip them, and they just sew straight lines around the edges. So it's just enough stitching to practice and kind of get down how to do a back stitch. And just like the other one, when they're done, they will, it always takes me a minute to fold these out, even though it's really easy. They would just fold it inside out, And voila, they will have a little triangle coaster, or again, like a little pouch or something. And you could do these on your own, as big or as little as you like. You just need 6 squares of fabric that are all the same size. And then I have a link to one other project. It's a little more advanced. It's still really simple though. And any of these can be done machine sewn as well. But this one is a pouch. So if you're like really interested in it and you want to take it a step further, it's going to be bigger pieces of fabric. The tutorial actually explains like how to make your own pattern out of a few pieces of paper. You can see mine is all wonky. I did hand stitch mine. Just took a couple of hours, but it is a nice little pouch, and there's no seams. Like, this is a French seam on the bottom, so the seam on the inside isn't unfinished, right? It's nice and finished on the inside and on the outside. There's no seams showing. The corners are a little funny. So that's another one that if they wanted to, take it a step further and practice a little more, they could make this envelope patch at home. So I hope that helps, and I hope it's fun.